Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Eeks and Geeks.
Hello.
It's
I'm
been too long, you guys. Sorry, go ahead, but it's been too long.
It has been too long.
But who are you?
But who are we? I'm Kirsten.
And
I'm Siberia.
I'm Lauren.
And I'm Pumpkin, the host of today's episode. Thank you.
Sorry, I just forgot what we do. I forgot we introduce ourselves, and I just wanted to say how long it's been.
Anything. It's been so long.
That's true.
For us, it has been, what, a month?
A month.
Maybe even 5 weeks. Because
5
of this.
weeks. Yeah, I think you're right.
Oh my gosh.
Woof, we are out of practice.
Yeah, so forgive those moments, which may be many in this episode.
We have those moments every episode, regardless. So this week we are on our second pick for horror comedy, and I had you guys watch Zombieland.
Yeah. Zombieland.
I like the zombie noises, Siberia. Can you do that again?
That's pretty good.
Sounds just like a zombie. They want to create like an auditory experience for the listeners. You know?
Good. That's kind of like our ghost sounds for paranormal.
Yeah.
We have to have a little sound effect.
Podcast has nothing on us in terms of sound effects.
Well, before we get into talking about Zombieland, has anybody, I know it's been a long time, has anybody watched anything recently?
I have.
Tell us.
Not a lot, but so the first thing I watched was the movie Pray for the Devil.
How was it? I remember seeing previews.
It's decent. It's a lot of like possession movies are kind of really cheesy.
Yeah, it looked corny to me.
Yeah, so
this is the one with the nun that's like trying to be yeah.
So what I read on Letterboxd, you get like out of a 5 and I gave it a 2. And I said it was a pretty decent movie. There were some cheesy parts, but it was enjoyable. I won't be watching it again. I won't be running to watch it again though.
Okay.
I just love a possession movie so much. That's why I'm probably fall for it and watch it. Just because I just love it. Give it all to me. No, I do too. But yeah, it's cheesy. And then I also watched Skinamarink. So out of 5, I gave it a 3.5. And I said, this movie's very unsettling. Not sure if it's the theme that it's going for, but it felt like a lot of a nightmare of a child going through child abuse. I got very emotional at parts and wanted to protect poor Kaylee and Kevin. There were parts that were pretty scary and even had me watching through my fingers. The only issue I had was the length. Sometimes it lingered way too long on random shots. I most likely won't watch it again, but I'm glad I did.
Yeah, I feel very similarly about Skinamarink. Yeah,
there were parts I was like,
yeah, there were a lot of parts where I was like, can something happen? And then I'd be like, can this not happen?
Yep, same.
Well, I would say those are 2 of the most favorable reviews I've seen. Well,
yeah, because I was talking, I actually was watching it today. I got like maybe 15-20 minutes into it, and I was not in the right headspace. I could tell that like in a good mood for it, I could like it. And like if I'm in the mood to like look for deeper meaning behind things, but I was like, I just wanted to be like scared genuinely, and that's not what it was giving to me.
Yeah, the only things I've watched, I've been watching Last of Us, of course.
Oh yeah, I watched that too. Yeah, same.
So good.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah. Heartbreaking and scary.
Like, how many times do I gotta cry?
Seriously, every episode punches me in the gut.
Yeah. And then I was watching this horror anime on Netflix. It's called Junji Ito Maniac, the Japanese Tales of the Macabre or whatever, and they're like short stories, and I'm only like 3 episodes in, and it's kind of like when we're listening to like our horror stories on like these podcasts and whatever, where it's like you get one that's like, ooh, good, and you get another one that's like, that's I'm gonna finish watching it. It's only like 10 episodes, but I like it for right now. It's kind of, I like seeing what other cultures think is scary, because there's some stuff I've seen in this show so far that I'm like, I wouldn't have imagined that in a million years.
I haven't watched anything, I guess, technically, because I've been on such a big Survivor kick. It's all I've been watching. But I have the Watcher Are You Scared podcast, it's literally all I've been putting on in the background. Like every one that I haven't watched that I can find, I'm like,
I'm glad I got you on that.
Is it like just short stories, like short scary stories?
Yeah, so it's Ryan and Shane, the guys from BuzzFeed Unsolved.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Ryan reads Shane a story from the internet, and then Shane has to guess if it's like a true or fake story.
Oh, okay.
And it's fun. So good because like the stories are actually really scary, but they are funny.
We all have been lacking on our horror, I guess, in the last month. Because I think the only thing I've watched, I watched Megan the other night.
How'd you like it?
I liked it. I thought it was really entertaining and fun. I definitely agree. I had heard some reviews of people saying that it suffers a little bit from the PG-13 rating, which is something that I felt very strongly as I was watching it. It just felt the whole time like it was like holding itself back, like it could really just let fucking loose and be absolutely absurd and like go in on the kills and everything. And so it just felt like a little bit more reined in than I wanted it to be, but it was still like super fun and I loved it.
I'm not gonna spoil anything, but did you die laughing at the titanium scene?
Oh yes, so stupid.
I was in the theater and I was like,
yeah, it's got the absurdism. It's super self-aware of how like silly goofy it is.
I can already tell I cosplay her.
I want to. Yeah,
I want to so bad. Can we be an army of Megans?
Yes.
I want to be an army of Megans.
I want to go see Cocaine Bear.
Oh my god, I want to see.
I want to see that so bad.
My roommate saw Cocaine Bear, and her review was not enough cocaine, not enough bear.
I've heard not enough bear is the main critique.
That's a shame.
One of my friends messaged me and said, "You guys got to watch Cocaine Bear for your podcast," and I was like, "I want to see it in general." So
I definitely want to do the Winnie the Pooh movie for our podcast.
Oh my god! Yes.
Do you guys want fun facts or final thoughts first? I forget what we normally do.
I think final thoughts first.
Final thoughts, I think.
Okay, we'll go with final thoughts. I'll go Lauren first. What are your final thoughts on Zombieland?
Okay. This is obviously a movie I've seen before, you know, haven't seen it in a long time, but when it first came out, I definitely watched it quite a few times. I think going into it, I was very worried about how the humor was going to have aged.
Yeah.
And, while I do think there are some jokes that like really haven't aged well, I think for the most part it has, and there was still parts that made me laugh. And I think all of the zombie SFX makeup was really good. I was like, okay, I dig the zombies. I'm still laughing. I still think it's pretty good. I'd give it like a 6.
Okay.
6.5, like somewhere in there. I was like, yeah, you know, it's still pretty all right.
Okay. Kirsten.
Pretty much my thoughts are the same as Lauren. I watched this quite a bit when it came out because like I had a big battle crush on Emma Stone.
But, she's still super hot in this movie.
But it's the same thing. It's like I went back in and I was just like, these men's conversations suck. Like it's just like there's some parts I was like, this didn't age well. Why is she got a smoky eye in the middle of an apocalypse?
I know.
It's just like
so stupid.
It's just like stuff like that, but it's all the same. Like I still really love like that fight sequence at the end when like Woody Harrelson's in the thing. Like I love the slow, like the shots are really good. It's the same. Like it's not bad, but it's different than when I remembered it. I give it like a 6 out of 10. Yeah.
Okay. And Saveria?
So when this first came out, I was not like one of the people who watched it because I was like a horror movie like no-go person. So I didn't see this movie for the first time until way after it had come out. And I remember decently liking it like well enough. Like I was like, okay, that was the zombie like funnier elements. And watching it back, like I kind of just had similar feelings. Like I was very like, I don't want to say wishy-washy, but I was just kind of like, I could take it or leave it. I'd watch this again, but I could also find never watching this again.
Yeah,
I think some of the humor is just like a little too, I don't want to say immature, but like lowbrow.
Yeah.
Like, a little lowbrow, and I'm like, okay. I do appreciate now knowing who Bill Murray is on this watch. I was like, oh, this is funny. I do enjoy this. I like that part quite a bit. But yeah, I would say I'm just kind of like in the middle about it. So I gave it like a 5.5.
Okay. I said Although some of the humor and relatableness of Zombieland hasn't held up that well after all these years, it is an enjoyable horror comedy with some funny dialogue and great zombie kills. I love that. And just like him, like Tallahassee killing all of them on the roller coaster is just so fun.
Iconic ending scene for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I also give it a 6.5.
Okay.
Which I think that's gonna, that puts us at a 6.
Okay. I think that's about, that's
valid.
about right.
Yeah, that's pretty valid.
Okay, so they did have a lot of trivia on IMDb, but a lot of it wasn't really that interesting. It was just kind of like, did you know the car in this scene actually belongs to this other celebrity? And I was like, I don't care. That's not interesting.
Oh, cool.
Okay, IMDb. Really interesting. But I found a few.
Scratch at the bottom of the barrel there for the fact.
Okay, so fun fact number 1. The zombie kill of the week was left over from the script's origin as a television plot. Every weekly episode would have a zombie kill of the week performed by characters on the show.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, I never knew this was originally supposed to be a show.
I didn't know that either.
Better as a show.
I kind of feel like, I don't know if it would have been like as iconic though. I feel like movies. Yeah.
But I think structurally it would have worked better as a show.
Yeah.
The amusement park scenes were filmed at Wild Adventures theme park in Valdosta, Georgia. I've never been.
Shut up.
Yeah.
4 hours from us.
I know. I've never been there.
No, and I've never even heard of it.
I've heard of it, but I've never. The two of us were gonna go.
We're gonna go when there's Six Flags right here.
We can go to both.
You gotta do a vlog for the.
We got all of Georgia. Yeah. I'm not getting on that fucking drop ride though. I hate drop rides.
No, they scale me. Except for Tower of Terror, she could stay.
Yeah.
No, the sensation of falling, I feel like all of my organs have been compacted and I'm going to throw up and pee my pants at the same time. It is the worst feeling. I hate falling. What? My throw up? There you go. I have my throw up. Columbus is afraid of clowns, but Jesse Eisenberg's mother used to work as a party clown.
Oh, that's funny.
I know. I thought that was cute.
I feel like this was like in the height of the when everyone thought clowns were like so scary and like people were making up news stories of like clown gangs killing people, and everyone was like, that's literally not happening.
That wasn't made up. That was me. Gangs.
I used to honestly feel like people saying they were scared of clowns was kind of like the whole like, I can't stand the word moist. I'm like,
it's got the
you're
same
saying
energy.
it because everybody else is saying it.
Yeah.
And then last one, the man that is eaten in the bathroom at the beginning of the film is the same person that Little Rock and Wichita pulled their ring scam on.
Yeah.
And he wrote White Lotus and he was on Survivor.
I was going to bring that up. I was like,
additional trivia.
Yeah, I was like, that's the White Lotus Survivor guy.
Him. I was like, Mike, top 4, season 30, whatever.
Oh, I didn't know he was in, because he's an actor. I've seen him in things. I didn't know he was in Survivor. That's fun.
Yeah, there was like a season where they had some celebrities on, and he was one of them.
Oh, okay.
Or was it just him?
No, it was just him. It was
just him
at that point. Like they were like, "So what do you do for work?" He was like, "I write movies." And they're like, "Which ones?" And he was like, "School of Rock."
Yeah.
Oh,
just like really iconic
he was
movies.
he was in School of Rock. He was
Ned Schneebly.
Yeah. I haven't seen that in forever.
I saw it for the first time last year.
Just love Jack Black, so
I saw it like as a kid and then I haven't seen it since. I know, I used to be obsessed with Jack Black. If a movie had Jack Black, I would see it. I was obsessed with Nacho Libre.
Yeah, I was obsessed with Tenacious D. I can quote that movie by heart.
That one I haven't seen.
What's your Jack Black comfort movie?
Tenacious D.
Mine's...
Our listeners, what is your favorite Jack Black movie?
Yeah, tell us in the comments.
The comments are just going to be such nonsense. Anyone coming in is going to be like, "What? Why are people commenting like?"
People are gonna be like, Nacho Libre. Like, what does that have to do with this movie? What are you talking about?
It's something with Zombieland.
The holiday
in Zombieland.
Oh, he was in King Kong, the Dinosaur Island one.
I love that movie. Wait, fun fact that's totally unrelated, but when we were in Vietnam, there was like an area that we were at that the whole time we were in it, I was like, this is so King Kong. Like, just like misty, big fucking hills and islands and stuff. And the whole time I was like, this is so King Kong. It's so King Kong. And then we went on this island and we were like up in this village. And like right when we got up to it, I was like, this looks exactly like King Kong. And our tour guide was talking to us and they were like, oh, they actually filmed the Jack Black King Kong movie here. And I was like, they filmed that movie here. I can tell that that's what it looked like. So don't clock me on my movie trivia, because I'll get you across the world. Not a King Kong filming location.
When I was a kid, I could never remember what ferns were called, and I called them dinosaur plants because there's just like ferns and all of the like Jurassic Park and all those. Every movie that has dinosaurs has like ferns, and I was like, dinosaur plants.
I would get what you were meaning if you said that to me.
Are you guys ready to get into the plot?
Get into the plot.
It's pretty short, so we're probably gonna get through this pretty quick. Okay.
Can I say something to start?
Yeah.
I feel like I really get called out for picking movies with unlikable main characters. And I feel like Jesse Eisenberg's character in this is absolutely insufferable.
We're gonna get into that.
We're gonna get into that.
Bearable.
Yeah. Oh my god, I hate it. I hate him so much.
I was literally just talking to Kirsten about how I feel like this type of character was such a 2000s trope.
Yeah. Just like some loser dude that like somehow ends up with like the hottest girl in the movie.
Played the same Mark Zuckerberg in Social Network. It's the same character.
He plays the same character in Adventureland. It's like
oh my god, Adventureland is so bad.
Yeah, the chokehold
does that
like
I love Adventureland.
Oh, I really don't like it.
Maybe I need to go back and watch it because I haven't watched it since it came out.
Does it have Kirsten Stewart in it? Who's the main girl in that?
Yeah, it's got her in it.
Yeah.
I've never seen it, but like the chokehold that like Michael Cera, Jesse Eisenberg, like that type of like weird nerdy guy, like that was just 2000s core.
Well, I think, and now in hindsight, you know, with 10 years tacked onto it, I think we can recognize it as it's just like incel dudes as like the main character, and it's so unappealing. It's like wildly unappealing to see him just be like, I would never help anyone, but she's fucking hot, so I let her in.
Look at those tits, bro.
Ew! I
literally
so much.
have a note about that part. I was like, you would never help someone, but your neighbor's hot, so you'll help her.
And there's a part later where he says something about Emma Stone's character where he's like, she's like the least insufferable bitch that I've met so far. And it's like,
she's not stuck up bitch like everyone else or whatever. And I was like,
what?
Okay, buddy.
Yeah, he's horrible.
Yeah. Well, buddy.
We'll get into that.
Let's get into the no.
Chapter 1. The movie opens with narration from our main character, Columbus, explaining that the world has become overrun with zombies. He shares with us his first 4 rules for surviving the apocalypse: cardio, double tap, beware of bathrooms, and seatbelts. He sets out from Texas to Ohio to search for his parents. On the way, he meets Tallahassee, who reluctantly agrees to accompany him. Tallahassee mentions that he misses his puppy, Buck, who was killed by zombies, and that his current mission is to find some Twinkies.
I fucking love Woody Harrelson. I love Tallahassee.
Tallahassee and Wichita are like my favorite characters. They're so good.
In this movie of calling people by city names and not by their actual names, like I really love that.
I love that. Yeah. But that first like opening, like the cardio rule, and they're just like, He's like, oh, that poor fat bastard. The fatties die first. I was like, okay, this is the 2000s. Okay, all right.
Yeah, he was like, so obviously the first that died off was the fatties, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, and that's how it starts, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be bad, isn't it? But it wasn't.
2023 me is in for a ride.
Yeah, it wasn't like as bad as I thought it was gonna be, so that was at least.
Yeah.
It wasn't like just that the whole time. It was at least other jokes.
Yeah. I love they showed like the zombie stripper like chasing the men. I thought that was I was like, yes, bitch, eat him.
That montage of just like slow motion zombie kills. Yeah, that's a great scene.
It's an iconic
those are
scene.
so funny. Yeah.
And I think it's funny to think about how like double tap, I feel like really is just kind of like part of pop culture. Of,
it
like,
really
people
is.
say double tap about everything, and it's like, oh shit, that's in Zombieland.
I say double tap so much. Yeah, I say double tap so much. Every time it pops up, I'm like, this is what Zombieland does. It's got that iconic like double tap. Everybody says that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It drives me crazy in movies when they stab the killer once or something and run away, and I'm like, no, double tap.
Double tap.
Literally, it's a great
sure
rule.
He's dead. Like, oh my god.
Off with something like this where you're like, I know all of these things in this opening scene are gonna like help or come in handy for like the end of the movie.
Yeah.
You're kind of being like, where are we going with this? Where are we going with this?
Which one is gonna be like the rule that saves them?
Right.
But in terms of like a zombie apocalypse rule set, I've got no qualms with the rules he set in place for himself.
He's got good rules.
Yeah.
I like the way the words pop up on screen. They kind of gave me like Scott Pilgrim vibes.
I'm stuck for a good text on screen.
Yeah.
A little like artsy flair that's just kind of like, oh, that's fun.
But I think part of the didn't like this movie as much as because it did remind me of Scott Pilgrim, and I hate Scott Pilgrim.
Is that another insult movie? I've never seen it.
I love Scott Pilgrim. Maybe I need to go back and rewatch these movies.
Yeah,
like
Scott Pilgrim upon a rewatch is
oh no,
not too good.
I mean, it's like so iconic. There's stuff from like every time I watch it, there's a few scenes that I will always die laughing about. But like the little sprinkles of like some kind of homophobic things and some kind of incel things are like, ooh.
Because I used to quote a lot the chicken's not vegan.
But yeah, I was telling Kirsten that Jesse Eisenberg is doing that like, do you guys ever get those TikToks like making fun of like the like quirky millennial guy and he's like doing those faces?
Yes. Oh my god.
Everybody's doing
You're like, stop!
When he hides behind the car and he's like, I found somewhere to go to the bathroom. I was like,
you're like,
stop! Why don't make the faces?
I think when you were saying that like some of the humor is lowbrow, the word that came to my mind was it's just very cringe now.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of like cringe lines.
He's right behind me, isn't he?
Or even like "nut up or shut up" feels very cringe now, and they say it like too many times. And it's just like I remember that being very impactful when it came out, and now you hear it, and it's like, ew, I hate it.
Not all of it aged that well. Also, he looks like such a fucking dork walking around a zombie apocalypse with his tucked in button-up shirt and his little suitcase.
Like, he survived? He made it this far?
He says that in the movie. He says, you might be asking, how did I make it?
I was asking.
It's his rules. Also, hot take, snowballs are much better than Twinkies.
No, coconut can rot.
Yeah, coconut is delicious.
I don't like coconut.
No, Twinkies are superior.
Twinkies are superior. Yeah, I'm going with Tallahassee. I don't like coconut.
I would eat an entire raw coconut right now. I love coconut.
I will eat those spongy little minion cakes any day.
I like Twinkies too, but just snowballs are so much better. If I found a truck full of snowballs, I'd be like, hell yeah.
I will say, in a zombie apocalypse, him only grabbing one pack of snowballs. I said, bitch.
It's pretty funny though.
Yeah, like you're gonna need as much food as you can get your hands on. I don't know that now's the time to be picky, but if you're Tallahassee.
This whole movie kind of just like dispels the belief of the zombie apocalypse. Like, what are you eating? Where's your gas coming from?
I think the electricity still on.
I feel like that's part of like the charm of it is that they like are not trying to make it realistic. Like we're having a smoky eye the whole time. Like there's still being electricity, not taking all the food.
Every car
they're just
has
like
gas. They're like, you can take this car.
You can take that car. It works.
They're just like not trying to make it like a survival movie, which is like I can appreciate that. They're just like we're just not doing that.
Yeah,
it's gonna be pretty convenient for everyone.
Movie. Yeah.
The flashback.
Brand new yellow Hummer gonna start right up, just no problem.
Full of guns.
Like full of guns.
Full of God bless rednecks. What is it?
Or like and wasting all the ammo. There's a bunch of scenes where it's just like
there's so many scenes. But the flashback, I don't know. I do think a lot of the like dialogue in this movie was funny. And I don't even know if it was intentional. It probably was. But like the flashback when his neighbor, like he wakes up and his neighbor's turned into a zombie, whatever. Just like trying to like talk to a zombie is so. What are you doing? Like it's a zombie trying to eat you. What do you think?
Stop! Like stop it! It's me. Like
crushing her ankle. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. When Columbus has his line about like, oh, my first time with like a girl and she tries to eat my brains, I was like, that's all women do.
Yeah.
I try to eat your brains.
Yep.
Oh, when maybe Siberia has the answer to this. When Columbus and Tallahassee are just like talking about like, when's the last time you had sex? It was like in the back of I was like, do men have these conversations? So they're just like, so when's the last time you had sex? Like,
who
has? I've never had somebody ask me that. Like, what a weird conversation. Yeah, I was
not with someone of this,
not a stranger
of that like that relation. Like I haven't known you that long. But like I talk about that with like my friends. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, with my friends, I'll be like, "Who you fucking?"
Oh yeah, all the time I'll be like,
what's going on? But yeah, if I just met someone and they were like, when's the last time you had if a man said that to me in a car, a guy that just picked me up, he's like, when's the last time you had sex? I'd be like,
yeah, that conversation was another one that was just like, why are we talking about this?
Yeah, it's so unnecessary.
Today in the Kroger parking lot, I thought I was gonna have to interfere because this man drove up to this woman sitting on the curb and he was like, do you need transportation? And I was like,
you're like, do I need
to do something right now? But she was like, no, please drive away.
Oh shit, good for her.
Yeah. I was like, hey queen, you got it.
Good. One line that made me laugh really hard was when they're I forget what they're even talking about. What were they talking about?
Zombies.
I don't remember. Anyway, Tallahassee makes some like metaphor about penguins, and Columbus is like, there are no penguins on the North Pole. And there's just like a pause, and Tallahassee's like, you want to feel how hard I can punch?
Yeah.
His comedic timing is pretty funny.
Yeah.
That's like exactly my type of humor. I feel like
I gotta give Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson's, I love him.
Yeah, most of his
though apparently he was just on SNL being like anti-vaccine and shit.
Oh no!
Great, awesome.
Bad news for all of us that
our problematic fave.
Well,
it like literally just happened.
I don't think I know anything else he's been in. Do I?
The Hunger Games.
Yeah, he's in
the Hunger Games.
As who?
Huh?
Everybody like cut out at the same time.
Hey Mitch.
Hey Mitch.
Oh man, did he look really different? Hold on, I need to look at a picture.
He has longer hair.
Yeah.
Oh, he has hair. Maybe that's why I didn't recognize him.
This is now a Hunger Games.
Oh, he's got like the bob. I didn't even realize that was the same person.
So they call him you Bob.
So they call me Bob.
Bob.
I also thought it was funny when that like zombie lady is like eating somebody in the street, and Columbus is like, it makes you, and Tallahassee goes, hungry. And Columbus is like, I'm worried for you.
Yeah,
that's like any conversation between me and Pumpkin though.
Yeah, just like saying the most absurd thing.
they'll be like, yeah, you think this too, right? And I'll be like, huh?
You're like, what was that now?
We're like, yeah, you guys know this song.
I go, I'm worried for you.
Worried for you. Yeah, little paper eater. Where were you?
Yeah, all I did was slurp butter. I ain't eating paper.
That's a callback to a previous episode, folks.
Yeah.
We have lore.
We have lore.
Eeks and Geeks lore. We should make a Eeks and Geeks bingo for every episode. How often do we bring things up?
How often do we say our name?
How often do we say get into the plot?
Too many times. Are we ready for chapter 2?
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Okay. In a grocery store, the pair meet con artist sisters Wichita and Little Rock, who trick Tallahassee and Columbus and steal their weapons and escalade. The two men find a Hummer loaded with weapons and continue on before running into another trap set by the girls, who take them hostage. They are dumbasses. Tallahassee steals the gun back and has a standoff with Wichita until Columbus intervenes, saying they have bigger problems to worry about, resulting in an uneasy truce between them. The sisters reveal they're going to the Pacific Playland amusement park in Los Angeles, an area supposedly free of zombies. After learning his hometown has been destroyed and his parents are likely killed, Columbus and Tallahassee decide to accompany them to the amusement park.
Yeah, because that's what I thought was funny. If they were like, we are going to Ohio and Florida. Okay, we'll go to California. That works too.
Like,
okay, whatever.
We'll go there. Yeah, complete opposite way.
There's no zombies there? You two random girls are telling us there's no zombies there? Okay, I believe you. Let's go.
Yeah, sure, why not?
From the other side of the country.
I love the kills in this grocery store.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That whole don't swing. Okay, swing.
Those
like,
swing.
I love that. It's so good.
And then you just see him like little off the top, and then like it's a kill off screen. And you just
and like the zombies,
you got a pretty mouth.
You got a pretty mouth.
Are so solid. Like they're like really good. Because they like get like I feel like the zombie element, but they also get that it's supposed to be a comedy. I feel like the zombies are kind of in on it too.
I forgot to say, I love the very opening. I'm going back. I'm sorry. The very opening scene where the zombies are just chasing him in circles around the parking lot is so funny.
Cardio.
He keeps trying the keys. Oh, fuck it, and just keep running.
And they've just been, the door's been unlocked the whole time.
Yeah.
Just running them.
Oh, but yeah, Columbus's little inner monologue as soon as he sees Wichita, just this whole like, a girl. I've always dreamed of having a girlfriend. All I've ever wanted to do was tuck her hair behind her ear. And I was like,
literally first thing he says is like, oh, perfect, like another marriageable woman. It's like,
to bring to the to bring to the family, and I was like,
not with his inner dialogue.
Like that's the first thing you think of when you just like are in an apocalypse. You just like see a woman and you're like, fuckable right there.
You're under the impression you're about to have to like kill her sister. So gross.
I love Emma Stone, like I said before. I had a huge crush on her, but I just like I didn't think about this until watching it now, because like when I watched it back then, it was just like, yeah, a movie, and then I'm watching it now and I'm like, why does she have a smoky eye on in the middle of an apocalypse?
Listen, you can't tell us that we wouldn't all be slaying an apocalypse too. Like I would be going full. I'd be going full like
this is Mad Max. Like the makeup bag is coming with.
my life is cozy right now, and it looked like this. You think that if it got an inch harder, I would look good? No.
We'll just have Siberian full drag every single day.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'd be like sewing trash and like metal shards into my fucking clothes.
You'd be like, where's Lauren? And you're like, have like aluminum can tabs. And you're like, I'm fine.
You need something to do in the apocalypse. I would be, lambing out my outfit.
The chainmail.
Have a little palette with some black and just be like.
I've heard that You're supposed to wear like all denim because denim can't be like bit through. So in a zombie apocalypse, you should wear all denim.
Oh.
Although I feel like wearing all jeans and a jean jacket, like in an that just sounds miserable.
And a genie and Jews and gloves.
And gloves.
Gloves.
And a necklace or a jar.
A jar.
And my belt and my jascot.
And your jocks under your juice. Sorry, that's so fucking stupid. Okay. Yeah, Wichita's like perfectly never greasy bangs. I was just like, yeah, right. She hasn't had a shower since. Okay.
Yeah.
She just packed a dry shampoo with her.
And I love how like Little Rock was just like, yeah, my full FX prosthetic bite right here.
That's another one. It's just like me.
Yeah. You could utilize that. You could be scamming people in the apocalypse.
I feel like they are lucky they didn't immediately go like, oh, she got bit. Okay, bam.
I know, that's
if this was the Last of Us, bitch. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, you better be glad he wasn't faster on the trigger because he could have just been.
Yeah,
cut it real close.
Sidebar: where did Tallahassee get a bulldozer front for his Escalade? Like
maybe
my brother,
like snowplows.
He seemed like the type of guy to just already have one.
Like that was just his running around car before.
Yeah, he went to Walmart, did his he went to the bank in that car. Like that was just his car.
Okay. To be fair, as like a resident has lived in snow my whole life person, people like do that. People have like snow plows on the front of their vehicles, so it's possible. You're not dumb.
I then put in my notes, man, all women do is lie, try to eat your brains, and steal your stuff at gunpoint. all these females are the same.
Any other way.
They're really smart about the way that they steal, though. Like that flashback with the ring.
Yeah,
that's
smart.
Fun.
That's a good scam. I love that.
Like, wait a minute.
Hang on. Could we pull that off?
I feel like nowadays there's cameras everywhere. They'd have like your license plate and they'd figure you out. I'm a nervous
But in
Nelly.
theory, unless you were the guy like going to make sure it was a real ring, like how would they know? He would just like, ship it or whatever.
I guess I could see you like plant it, like drop it or something. I don't know.
I feel like you could be sneaky. I think you could get away with it. If you didn't do it like too much in the same area, did it just like
that's true. You'd have to drive around.
I don't think anyone would think.
Yeah, it bugged me so much every time they just like were shooting just bullets when they find the Hummer and they're just like I'm like,
yeah, it's just going off. Just
like I know it's a comedy, it doesn't have to make sense. But like as people who like watch so many horror movies, especially zombie ones, you're like, no, save your ammo.
Well, because
and especially
in The Last of Us when like Joel's trying to teach Ellie like the target practice, and I was like, but those are bullets.
I know. I think the same thing. I think especially because we're like concurrently watching The Last of Us, where it's like a very serious zombie apocalypse. I think the same thing. Like, I feel like anytime Ellie is like shooting behind her, I'm like, man, she is just firing and not aiming, huh? She's just gonna waste every bullet she's got.
Yeah, because you've got like what 9 or something in each one. Like don't 12. Yeah, like don't waste them. Don't waste them.
Make sure like sure that it's gonna hit.
Yeah. I thought them getting fucking tricked again. It's just so
funny. Because like check behind the big hay bales that are bigger than people, maybe.
Yes, maybe somewhere to hide could be that.
She's in the back seat, isn't she?
Right behind me.
I love when Wichita does come up from behind the hay bales and Columbus is like, that's your sister. That's my gun. Hello. The line delivery is still funny. Like I feel like that holds up.
Like He's such a dweeb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
such a dweeb.
Just an absolute loser.
I wrote down what we were trying to remember what he said earlier. I wrote it down. She's not your typical hot, stuck-up bitch. That's what he said.
Oh.
Not your typical one, but she still is one. And that's important to remember.
She's kind of
breed of hot stuck-up bitch.
She's different. She's not like the other hot stuck-up bitches.
I feel like if this is nowadays, this is the character that would be like watching Andrew Tate. Like,
yeah.
Shit.
This Ben is why Shapiro. I'm single.
Oh yeah, I'd be watching Ben Shapiro. Yeah.
Yeah. Jordan Peterson and all them.
He'd be like, he definitely would listen to Jordan Peterson. This is a Jordan Peterson motherfucker. He is definitely a Jordan Peterson motherfucker.
And he'd be like, he just actually makes like some good points. Like if you listen to what he has to say, like he makes
Joe Rogan's actually not a bad guy, people. Like really, it's actually really good.
Yeah, he conducts really good interviews if you just like give it a listen.
Elon Musk is actually a really good businessman.
How much money has he lost now?
Yeah.
But I remember getting blunt bangs and doing like trying to do smoky eyeliner when I was in high school because of like Emma Stone and Lily Allen, and like that was the look.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't look like them. Why not?
They'll just look like raccoons.
A raccoon in the mirror.
Yeah. the waterline black liner with like
to be honest, from like far away, Emma Stone's smoky eye wasn't really that great in this either. It kind of was like very harsh black lines.
The apocalypse. Give her.
She's doing a quick
literally
smoky.
It's like
she charcoal from the fire.
It's like the ashes of someone's car, just like.
But like me, I'd be doing that.
I still have to slay.
I have to slay. Somebody does.
I just thought about that line delivery that Emma Stone does. I love her to death, but that first one when she's like, "Come quick."
Well, that's when I was like, "This is a scam." I was like,
obviously.
What? Yeah, like why would you trust two random men? Like, no,
never.
Come quick. I need your help. Also, I said Columbus is such a simp. I didn't realize holding a man at gunpoint is all it would take to make him fall in love with me. He's just like head over heels for her. And I'm like, she has been nothing but awful to you.
Like hearts for eyes. Like she would rather see you dead and you have hearts for eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a sub. She's a dom.
Well, and I don't ship it. So
No, do not ship at all.
Are we ready for chapter 3?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Let's do it.
On the way to LA, the group stops by a gift shop and proceed to destroy it to let off steam and have fun. When they reach Hollywood, Tallahassee directs them to Bill Murray's house. Tallahassee and Wichita meet Murray uninfected and disguised as a zombie, and they play a prank on Columbus and Little Rock by having him pretend to be a zombie, only for Columbus to accidentally kill Murray. It was on purpose, but anyway. In a later conversation that night, Columbus realizes that Buck was not a puppy, but actually Tallahassee's son who got infected and died as a result.
Sad.
Disgust. The gift shop scene?
Scene will never not be funny.
I love the Bill Murray scene.
The best part. It's the best part.
But the gift shop scene though, before that,
it was so satisfying. I want to do that so bad.
It was satisfying, but at the same time, I was like, this feels weird because it's a Native American gift shop and like running around in a headdress. Yeah, it felt weird.
I didn't even think about that part.
It felt weird. I was like, this is satisfying to break things, but this feels kind of strange.
Yeah, and like the name of the store was.
Yeah.
Oh, what was the name of the store?
It was like
I don't remember.
It was something very stereotypical, like
it was just like as they were driving away, you could see the name of the store, and it was like,
I was like, this.
No,
I was like, this doesn't feel right. And like when she's like running through with a headdress on and the spear, and I'm like,
you're a white girl.
I do think it's funny now that I like work in like cosmetics, and he goes, "C'est perfume, Lancôme, je n'aime pas." I was like, I know that perfume.
We have every time I've been to like one of those gift shops that's just like glasswork, some animalistic part of me is like, I want to break it. I want to break it so bad. I just want to smash it.
Break all of it.
But I do love a universe where Bill Murray is Bill Murray, but like Emma Stone is just like a random girl.
Not. It's
yeah,
a girl.
like,
Or maybe it's Emma Stone, but she was like, I'm Wichita, shut the fuck up.
Well, Robert, Tallahassee, like who's Woody Harrelson's character, is like, I watched you like before I could masturbate or something.
They were in a movie
like,
together.
I'm like, y'all have been in a movie together. Y'all like are the same age. Like, what?
It's so random and funny.
This is another one. Because I have such stupid humor. I will always laugh at this part when he's like, when they're watching Ghostbusters, he goes, "You're gonna find out who they're gonna call." Ghostbusters.
And Little Rock is like, okay. It's just so annoying. I died laughing when he shoots Bill Murray and Tallahassee's like, do you think you'll pull through? And with the straightest face, he's just like, no.
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 He's like, I don't know if I can
when he's like poking the bullet hole and he's like, you think we can stitch this up?
It's still kind of tender.
It's still tender.
That part was really funny.
Well, because Bill Murray's a fucking comedic genius.
Oh my god, I just shot Bill Murray.
Do you think you'll pull through?
No.
Just no inflection, straight as face, just like looks Columbus in the eye. No.
And also I love how he's like sitting in his house alone, just dressed as a zombie in case anyone comes in.
And he's
even though it's literally gated.
Well, he also says he's like, I like to go outside sometimes, so that's why I wear this. He's like, I played a couple holes on the just imagining Bill Murray just like, oh, groceries. Oh.
Don't they have a scene of that in Shaun of the Dead?
They do.
Am I thinking? Yeah.
It is. I love that scene.
It's so funny. I need to rewatch that one too.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I need to watch it.
Well, maybe you might.
Tallahassee's backstory is so sad though. That little kid was so fucking cute.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna eat that child up. He's so cute, little baby.
That was me when it was a puppy.
It kills me though when you like
the puppy was also really cute.
Yeah.
It kills me though when you like know that this is a sad story and then he like takes money and
like wipes his tears.
Oh, this is another one with the bullet wasting when they're like when they push Bill Murray over and they're doing like the shots like
yeah,
and I'm like, but this is another my humor because he goes, wait, sorry, it's a 2-barrel.
It's a double barrel.
Yeah, it's little snippets like that make me laugh. Like
yeah, like a lot of the jokes in this movie are good, but like some of the theming and the content, I'm like, oh, okay,
yeah. But it's not as bad as others are.
Some stuff. Yeah, this one
agree. It's pretty. It's honestly pretty tame on the like offensive front, I would say.
Yeah. There's no R words.
No.
So at least
no homophobic stuff.
No.
Yeah, no. I was about to say I don't think there's any like homophobic slurs or like jokes or anything.
No.
Also, why would they? I know it's a movie and it's funny, it's comedic, but why would you think it was a good idea to scare him?
I know. I was like,
I don't know, so
and then blame
Columbus would react.
Yeah, and then blame him for shooting him. It's like that's how I would respond.
But it is funny because like when you know that he is a zombie, like because you know how all of the zombies act in this world, they're like fast and like scary, and he comes in, he's like, oh, he's like coming in like stereotypical.
Oh, and then
like,
wait, this is another part that makes me laugh because when Delivery dies, he's like, and then Emma still laughs and she goes, "I'm sorry." It just gets so funny. Well, yeah, so but it's still really sad. That would be me.
I feel like I do that. I feel like that's a bit I've picked up from Zombieland that I didn't even realize, like the drawn out sigh.
Yeah.
Are we ready for chapter 4?
Yeah.
The last chapter. Okay.
Oh.
Despite Wichita and Columbus falling for each other, Wichita abruptly leaves with Little Rock for Pacific Playland the next morning. Columbus decides to go after Wichita and convinces Tallahassee to join him. At Pacific Playland, the sisters activate all the rides and lights only to unwittingly draw the attention of a multitude of zombies in the area. They become trapped on a drop tower ride as Tallahassee and Columbus arrive. Tallahassee lures the zombies to a game booth and kills more than several. As Columbus heads to the drop tower, he evades and shoots through a horde and safely helps the girls down. Wichita kisses Columbus and reveals her name is Krista. The group then leave Pacific Playland. The end.
She's so not a Krista.
She's so not a Krista.
She's
like,
so not a Krista.
Oh.
That,
if it wasn't Emma Stone, I'd be like, that's like a Samantha or like an Anita.
I believe that's Emma Stone's mom's name.
Krista.
I believe.
I also find the idea that like, and in most zombie things, like making noise, drawing attraction is like what gets a bunch of zombies like to your zone. But the whole movie, they're so loud everywhere they go. They go to that store, smash it all up. They shoot the gun at Bill Murray's house. It's like they're making them being so loud everywhere they go. But then all of a sudden at the end, it's like, because it's loud.
It's like, oh, now it's like, loud.
Yeah, now we got to worry about like being loud.
That whole scene when they're like talking, I feel like this love story was just so forced. It's just like, it's so forced. It's so like shoved down your throat. Like, I don't think that they should have chemistry together. It's just like
there is boy in movie, there is girl in movie.
Yeah, same age.
But you know what? I'm so mad because I want to say the same thing, but I have known way too many couples where this like hot as fuck, smart, funny, sweet, amazing chick is dating like this little dumbass loser. And I'm like, girl,
what you doing?
What?
Doing?
Like, I've known it happens too much in real life that I'm like, no, this.
Like, what happened to the plot of the movie?
Yeah.
Like, for some reason, yeah, she probably would date him. I don't understand it, but it is unfortunately believable.
Maybe they're just like horny in the apocalypse, and it's just like,
yeah, I guess also if you're just
point, maybe you're just like, wow.
Yeah, it ain't a zombie, so
what's gonna happen? Your friends are gonna judge you.
I do like the like little relationship that Little Rock and Tallahassee were like forming at the end there.
Yeah, that was
so cute. Yeah,
when she's like sleeping on his shoulder in the car, I was like,
yeah,
especially since like he lost his son and now there's like another kid he can like be a dad to.
Yeah.
It's just,
and he was just
cute.
like, we're gonna go make a fort.
He's helping her like learn how to aim like the gun and everything.
And she uses it later.
Yeah, that was cute. I like that.
We love that.
The sisters jumping out of the Hummer or the car just because there's like a couple zombies on top.
Why?
Like,
and then you go trap yourselves on a ride. I was like, this makes no sense. At least go get on like a swinging ride. Get back on the pirate ship. They can't get on.
Yeah, I thought that they were smart, and then this all happened, and I'm like, you're all dumb. These are all dumb. Why are you getting on a ride that like you can't
stops at the bottom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then once you hit the control box, like, you're done.
Yeah, I'm like, you hit the control box. I'm like, now you're stuck there. Like,
yeah, like,
how are you gonna get down?
You did not think any of this through.
No,
it was that.
The zombies can still climb, apparently.
Yeah, that whole like jumping out of the car. I was like, because there's like 2 zombies on top of the car.
Yeah, you could swing them off, like.
Yeah, you'll work
it
out.
Do? They just drive until they fall off.
Yeah, like it's, oh man, that like the decisions that were made at the end here, I was like, this doesn't make any sense.
But it sets up the most iconic zombie killing scene ever.
It does. So. Tallahassee like killed it. Like
the roller coaster.
The little kitty roller coaster, like pow.
The roller coaster,
so
just
good.
Like, it reminds me of that. We have something at Carowinds here called the Ricochet. It reminded me a lot of the Ricochet, and I was just like, it's just I just pictured myself being on the Ricochet, like shooting zombies.
It reminds me of Primeval World.
Yes, that's what I was thinking of. Which R.I.P. Primeval World.
We love her.
Forever in our hearts.
Gone but not forgotten.
Gone but not forgotten. We will always love you.
And then that scene when he's like stuck in when he's like locks himself in there and he's like got his like bullet set up and he's just like click, click, pow, 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 pow.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Click, pow, 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 pow.
Yeah.
That's iconic.
I love a good bullet. I love a good bullet clicking. Like it's like one of my favorite scenes is in Kick-Ass when she like throws it up in the
reload
air and clicks it in midair. Oh yeah, I love a good reload.
Mm-hmm. When Columbus like shoots the door twice, and then now for some reason the only box of Twinkies is like obliterated. I was like, how would that be? Explain the physics. Yeah.
When I saw that when I saw that the Twinkie box was shot, like the first time I saw it, because I knew that it was happened, but I was like, oh no. the one thing Tallahassee wanted.
Poor Tallahassee. Well,
that whole monologue earlier about like there's an expiration date. At some point we are gonna have a Twinkie-less world and it will not stand for it.
That's another thing that I always quote when I say there's things that can survive the apocalypse, which is Twinkies and cockroaches. Because of this movie.
There was also Columbus tells him I think it's Columbus. He tells Tallahassee to enjoy his spongy yellow log of cream, and I was like, that was my nickname in high school.
Yeah.
Ew. Ew.
Absorbent and yellow and porous is he.
Ew, I hate it.
Yeah, so that was Zombieland.
Iconic.
Oh shit.
Iconic.
Woo!
I honestly almost kind of feel like talking about it
survived Zombieland. We did.
I feel like talking about it was funnier than watching it. Almost.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Well, and I feel like at this point, like we had the laughs 10 years ago, so it's like you watch it now, it's not as like
you're like, I remember this movie.
Yeah, like you sort of remember the jokes more than you're like experiencing them for the first time, but it does have funny parts in it. It was like still
because I remember this being like one of the funniest movies I've seen. Like when you said you picked it, I was excited because I remember like loving this movie. Like I think I watched it multiple times. And then I went back and watched it and I'm like, yeah, there are parts, it's the little things that make me laugh, but like the older some of those jokes I'm just like,
the actual written like dialogue jokes, I'm like, okay.
Good. It was like the lines that were more like, I know probably very little of it is improv, but the lines that like felt more improvisational, just like little quips were way funnier, like constructed jokes.
I felt like a lot of like just kind of the line delivery was way funnier than like an actual formulated joke.
Agreed.
Like just like the way Tallahassee like says something is like funnier than like a whole setup and punchline or whatever.
Like a not very good script. If you have really good comedic actors to do that script, they can make something.
Because they're just funny, like they're being funny, they can say anything and it's going to be
just a funny asshole, like that's
Bill Murray is just funny. I feel like Emma Stone is also a pretty fantastic comedic actor. Like she's just gonna be funny,
she's great.
Tallahassee says the things that I'm like thinking but I don't say out loud. You want to feel how
just
hard
say them out loud
sometimes. Well, who's I don't remember who's picking next.
It's Lauren.
It's Lauren.
What we watching?
What's our horror comedy pick?
So my pick came out in 2010, so we've got another. It's interesting. Are all of our picks so far like kind of
around that area? Yeah.
So it's the nostalgia factor for like our generation,
which is interesting. So mine came out in 2010. Currently on Rotten Tomatoes, it has an 85 from critics and an 85 from audience.
Wow.
Okay.
Which I feel like pretty good.
Yeah.
My pick is Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Yes, I love Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
I actually have never seen that, surprisingly.
I'm excited to watch it for the first time.
The first time I saw it, like tears streaming down my face. It was so funny.
Okay.
It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I think, I mean, and I don't think it's the same kind of comedy as Zombieland. But I remember it being funny, so I hope it's aged well. We'll see.
I feel like I remember it being a lot of subverting expectations, just like the character that you think is gonna do that thing doesn't. Like it's a lot of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Okay,
it's a funny one. Okay, it's on Prime. Looks like it's on Prime for free.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like everywhere, but
okay.
I feel like most people are gonna watch it.
You can probably rent it from somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only place I see it as rentable is on Apple TV, but it looks like it's in a lot of places. Yeah, it's on Prime.
Okay, cool. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, everybody has Prime.
You can watch it.
You know, with Prime.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone has Prime, or at least someone they know has Prime.
Yeah.
Same with like Netflix. So. Like it's kind of like
Netflix
weird that you don't know.
Yeah, Netflix is dragging there.
They keep putting themselves in some hot water, making some dumb decisions.
Really dumb decisions.
Yeah.
And you know what hot water always causes? Tea.
What?
Huh?
You know, hot water makes tea.
I missed
hot water. Also makes coffee and even oatmeal.
But I don't like coffee.
I like coffee.
And also ramen noodles.
Or ramen.
I just start listing everything you can
make
make.
Next week. We're looking forward to next week when we'll talk about Tucker Dale vs. Evil.
Yeah.
Hey.
See you then.
All right. Bye.
Bye.